Dance it out. Clap it.
Happy Wednesday, Frank.
Happy Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Welcome to Livefromrabs, episode 99.
99!
Episode 99. And the correction to our quarantine shutdown clock. Today is actually day 114. Yesterday I reported it was day 111. I don't know.
Oh, well, we missed it because, the
a few days.
weekend,
I thought I flipped it for the weekend, but I must have lost days.
Some
somewhere.
days we didn't want to count.
Maybe we didn't move it. Maybe we just didn't change it.
All right. It's all the same to us.
It is. It's still March, right? It's March.
Yes,
March.
It's March 92nd.
No, it's further than that.
Oh, it's March
145?
Yes,
Or
145th.
something.
March 145th.
Well, how are you today, Naz?
I'm good. We're steaming right along in the pro shop.
I see.
Things are happening over there,
You know when
as they say in Hamilton.
things are really in the room where it happens?
That is the room where it happens. I'm telling you.
I
It
know
is.
when things are full steam ahead, when I don't see Ray moving things around
Yes.
from side to side or place to place.
Yeah. Well, we were
Yesterday he had a mannequin in his hands,
on
and I didn't know
point
where he was
today.
going with it, so he wasn't there.
Maybe he was dancing with it.
He might have been. That's not a bad thing.
Yes.
Dancing is signs of a good mood. Hi everybody. Every day is Saturday. Yeah, that's good. Yes, happy Hump Day. You haven't said that in a while.
Hump Day. I say it every Wednesday. I just didn't say it today. They haven't brought that commercial back. I saw it a couple times,
No,
but I thought it was going to make the full-fledged comeback.
they did do. They had a campaign where they wanted people to vote on their favorite commercials.
Yes.
I know I voted, and I know the commercial that I picked did not.
So which
I voted
one?
for two.
Which one?
I mean,
Oh, the pig. And it was a big favorite. He was a big favorite. Sticking his head out the window.
Oh, I mean that's number one, and number two, the caveman in the airport.
I was going to say,
As
the
dumb
caveman, yes.
and stupid. The music alone.
Kevin just said they're setting up a screen in the yard for them to watch Hamilton.
Oh, well, I know Nicole and her friends, they were obsessed, and they did get to see it. That sounds like fun. Well, when I get home, I'm going to have to look over the yard and see what's happening over there.
I may be sneaking by.
They may be dancing in the yard or something, or they're intently watching.
Right. Well, that's the thing,
With popcorn.
is that the first time I expected I would be like up and like super, but I was so full because I haven't seen it.
Right, you haven't. You know the music,
but I
you
know
haven't physically-
every note in the show, and I was so like engrossed in watching it and just seeing the characters. Like I said, the like little nuances of the characters was so. Yeah, I did sing,
Thanks,
but I couldn't
Kevin.
take my eyes off the screen.
He's going to swap it so we can see it.
Oh, that'd be
So, are you? I think this is a good question. You go to the theater, you go see a show that you know the music to. Do you sing along?
I don't sing out loud.
No.
I might, sing to myself.
Watching a movie or a TV show, do you sing along to something that comes on that you might?
How many times do you think I've seen The Sound of Music that I've sung it every year?
Well, so prime example, and I had texted you about this. We were watching The Politician, and Ben Platt, who has an amazing voice,
when he does Vienna,
opens season 2, right in this scene in a New York City bar, and he's singing Billy Joel's Vienna, and all three of us were singing.
First of all,
Anthony didn't even know the song.
First of all, it's an amazing song.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites. When it comes to Billy Joel,
to me, it's a Billy Joel classic. If you for real, and I'm not saying if you don't know that song, you're not a real fan, but it's not like one of his big super hits.
No.
But if you listen to Billy Joel, it's something also that he enjoys performing. That
and he does it it is in his concert.
Yes, it's in his set list.
But
and he does such a good in that scene. He's great, and it kind of plays into his like what his
Oh yeah,
character
the
is
best
going
part, I
through
think
at
the
the
best
time.
moment, there's the line that he has there, and it's funny because I'm not a movie or TV line guy. I just don't retain them.
Right.
Certain things stick. In that specific case, because of the music, the line stuck, and he basically said, "Well, when the hell do I?" He basically said, "When the hell do I become a New Yorker?"
Right. Oh yeah, you
and-
said that. Yeah.
Dude, you just sat in a bar,
Right.
crying your eyes out, drinking alcohol, and sang Billy Joel. Welcome to the
Welcome
family.
to New York.
I mean, that's exactly what you have.
But I think that's a quirk of his character, that he kind of is like a fish out of water
Oh, yeah.
in
Oh, wow.
almost all of
Totally,
his
yeah.
situations, except when he's engrossed in that political kind of.
Yeah.
And even then, his decisions that I feel like he makes, he's not. Am I doing the right thing here?
It's not clear.
He's torn. He's torn.
It's a show to watch.
Yeah.
It's not the best on TV. I think it's good. I liked it. It got a little silly.
Yeah,
There is a
yeah.
season 3 coming, which it looks like season 3 he might end it at season 3. And it depends on how they end it. I mean, they took this. It's one of those shows that fast forward into a whole new storyline.
Yeah.
That's where they kind of lost me at first.
Right.
But definitely worth the watch. I mean, especially if you like the character. I mean, the people that are in that show. We've talked
Yeah.
about it.
Right.
Go check it out. I mean,
Again, we got stuck on the politician
it's a good
on
show.
TV. Yes, good show.
And on TV tomorrow, episode 100.
Can you? It's hard for me to. It's hard for
I
me to
still
get my
can't.
head
I
around
can't
that.
fathom this. We've been doing.
I don't
this
even
this
like doing
long.
things I like 100 times. So, in 3 months, it's hard to imagine. You know, think about it.
Well, yeah.
I-
100 times.
100 times.
90
That's
days.
every day. Every day.
I can't say nothing. I mean, we drink every day. I mean,
You drink every day. I don't. I'm not. You know, I enjoy a glass of wine maybe twice a week, but I'm not.
so yeah, episode 100. We're going to be dining al fresco style
I can't wait.
with our friend Pam Silvestri, as we do on Thursdays. We'll be
It'll
at
be
Bruno's
fun.
on Forest Avenue. Going to visit Biagio. He's next door, and they opened up on Forest. We'll see what's happening, but we're going to celebrate episode 100. You never know what's going to happen.
No. And tomorrow, I feel tomorrow's a total wild card.
I didn't look at the weather.
I have no idea. Anything could happen. People could be driving by, beeping, or
Just because.
stopping.
I mean, it's Forest Avenue at 2
Stopping
o'clock in the
by.
afternoon.
Or people that watch the show every day. You know, they could be. We can just stop by, or
Yeah.
we just. It's
Just wear a mask.
yes. I'll wear like I was gonna wear last night. My dark sunglasses and my big scarf. I'm sure Pam can lend me a
Wear your
scarf.
sunglasses at night.
I wear my sunglasses.
Hey, a public service announcement. We mentioned this. We mentioned this last couple days, and so we don't want you to lose sight. We want to keep our community clean, and the borough president's office has launched a campaign, Own the 18, and so he's specifically talking about owning the 18 inches in front of your homes, your businesses. So please, the weekend. I mean, you should do this all the time, but specifically being out on the weekend of July 18th, share some photos, clean the 18, and show our community what we're cleaning. And hopefully, you're not sweeping up masks and gloves, because I find that to be the most disturbing and disgusting thing ever these days.
I did.
There's no reason.
Not just throwing them on the ground. I went to Trader Joe's today, and they do a wonderful job there. They greet you with the hand sanitizer to clean off the cart, and people are taking off their masks and their gloves and just leaving them in the cart after they use them.
Disclassiado.
It is.
It's disgusting.
Really?
There's no reason for it. I don't get it.
Somebody else.
You
can literally take one glove inside the other, stick the mask in it, roll it up, and throw it out when you go home.
Keep a garbage bag in your car. That's what I do. I have a little pail, a garbage bag that I clean out.
Anyway,
No
enough.
reason. So anyway,
No ranting today.
keep the neighborhoods clean. Hey, today we've got a friend. Now I'm hungry for
See? Yep,
donuts.
We missed the mark.
I'm not a donut guy, but I mean, on occasion there's the donut.
Well, they're
But
donuts.
I have. The last time I had a good cannoli. I haven't had a cannoli in I don't know how long. The last thing I had was the Napoleons that we brought.
Oh, those were.
I mean, but it's been a while. Hey, anyway, Mark's Bakery is with us today. Hey, Mark.
Hi, Mark.
How's it going, guys?
We're doing all right. How are
How's
you?
Good. Very good.
We're doing all right. You look good with your chin strap there today.
Yeah, I know it's my mask. This is my encased
like
mask. I got to pull it up to help a customer.
Yeah, so, one, how are you and your family been holding up during this time? I know you've been busy, you've been open, but certainly trying times for you too.
Yeah, we're good. My family's well. Everyone's healthy, so that's the most important thing. But I've been here. I haven't seen much of them. I've been here since this thing kind of kicked off. We stayed open through it. I was working alone for most of it. My mother-in-law helped me. She was answering the phones, but it was kind of like my own prison cell for a while.
Yeah, well, and it's funny because I had come by several times, and it's like the guy in the background, almost afraid to come out and see people, like, leave me alone, the Phantom. And I mean, it was tough for a little while because you wanted to doing curbside pickup and stuff.
Yeah.
And you made the best of it for sure. So are you now letting people into the store? What's happening there at the bakery today?
Yeah, we're open and people could come in. We ask that they wear a mask, like the state guides us to ask, and we have installed some plexiglass between us and the register. But we also installed a window, so you can choose to just call and pick up outside. So there's it's almost like a drive-through window. You got to get out of your car, take 2 steps, but it's the closest thing we can get.
It's cool. It looks a little different behind you. Do you do some work? Do you do some work in the store recently?
No,
it's just
I'm in the kitchen.
Oh, see, you're in the kitchen. I'm like, the angle was so odd. So you're in the kitchen. Oh, show us around while you're at it.
Yeah, let's see the kitchen.
It actually looked like that was wall paneling at first, and that angle. It was so funny.
No, so this is. I mean, it's small back here. We only got about 400 square feet. The stove is my bench, freezer. That's it. That's the 360 panoramic view. It's tight. So
that's where the magic happened.
Hence the reason I've been working alone, and I have a couple other bakers working overnight. So we kind of stagger our shifts so we're not on top of each other.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's great. And if you've been there, so Mark, talk about the store and where you're at. You've now been there a couple of years now.
A few years.
Yeah, I'm here 3 years. 3 years. We just passed in May, which is amazing that we made it to 3 years. It hasn't been easy, but we're here and we're doing well. We expanded our menu a bunch of times, and now I think we finally have a good foothold in this area. And I'm starting to build on Staten Island outside of Richmond Town, which is great.
That's great.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, and that's part of building the brand, right, and building the business. So how did you get into baking and deciding, hey, we're going to take the plunge, because your family's ingrained in that business, in that area.
There, right?
A lot of family businesses happening there. So what's Mark said one day, I'm going to open a bakery. How take us through that?
Yeah. So my wife and her family, they're really the entrepreneurs. I don't come from a long line of entrepreneurs, but I was working in Manhattan. I traded gold and oil. I did sales, market research sales for a while. But prior to that, my first job was in a bakery. I was 15 when I went to work at David's Bakery, which is in Princess Bay and Seguin Avenue. It's not there anymore, but Dave was related to Andrew from Andrew and Allen's.
Yeah.
So that I learned that style of baking, which is sort of, I guess, German American. There was a lot of Italian influence there as well. And I took to it, and Dave was great, and he taught me, everything that I know about baking. I was there on and off even when I worked in the city for 10 to 12 years.
Wow.
And there was a bunch of times in that span where I was either going to buy his place or open another place. I tried my hand at like a pop-up at the Caesar's Bazaar that opened out on South Avenue at one point. But yeah, it's always been there. It's always been in the background, and it was actually something that I couldn't get away from. And my mother-in-law, being the entrepreneur that she is, saw this spot open up, and my wife kind of nudged me into this direction just because she knew I liked it so much. And that's it, man. The rest is history. We took a plunge. I have 3 kids. I had 2 kids at the time. Now I have 3. It's like I said, it's been a little bit of a wild ride.
It gets you away from your kids.
Yeah. You know,
about that.
I kind of play up the whole, I got to be at work thing. Sometimes sometimes it's easier to be here.
So obviously, you know, things were selling. You were doing okay. You were doing well, and then this pandemic hit. We don't, as entrepreneurs, nobody has a plan for something like this. So did you kind of feel like you were adjusting as you went along and coming up with a plan as you went along?
No, Naz, to be honest, in the beginning, I went to a full-blown panic.
Well, we all did.
We are so new, and it's not, you know, I'm still building the business. It's not like I have something to fall back on to say, okay, we're going to be closed for a couple of months and hope for the best. So
right.
In the beginning, it was a full panic, and then we kind of got our heads together, and my wife, to all her credit, put our whole menu online, which really was great. I mean, that changed my business, I think, going forward. You're able to shop almost everything we have online. It updates quantities, and you could select the pickup window. It's really something. So
some good things that you'll probably continue going forward after this came out of that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the future for my business for sure.
Great.
People could look at, you don't have to come here. So like I said, you know, I do well in Richmond Town, but this sort of opened me up to a lot more of the island, because you don't have to be here. You can go right on. You could look at the pictures. You could see the descriptions. You could pick what you want. It tells you if it's in stock, if it's out of stock. So launching new products, it's great for. The Instagram links right to the web, to the store. It's been great.
There's still nothing like walking in the bakery and then having that, not only the smell, but then the shopping habit of going, I got to try those, right. and you're going to try those, and then take those home. I mean, that you of course want people to have that experience, but it makes it easy,
right,
to buy what you need, which is pretty cool. Then, you know, the experience of somebody coming in for a custom cake is certainly very different. Yeah. I'm sure these days too.
Yeah, so we have, you know, that's part of the business that obviously suffered. In the beginning, we had a lot of cancellations for bigger parties, and, you know, we did what we could to accommodate that. It started to come back a little bit, and they're the same kind of custom request on a way smaller scale. And like I said, we do our best to accommodate it. I'm here alone, you know, during the day in the back, so, you know, you're not able to take. Where you would take 10 cakes on a Saturday, maybe you can't take 10 custom cakes on a Saturday. Maybe take a little bit less. So we do our best, and it's been working out so far. So
that allows you. I mean, working by yourself, though. I mean, the creative juices probably get flowing somewhat even more at times, right? So that's when creativity shines. Right. When I'm alone, nobody can watch me. Nobody can look at me. Leave me alone. Do my thing.
So true, man. It's so true. I think in the last 3 months, I've come up with more new ideas, and like I said, that online store gives me a platform to just test them out. You know, if they sell, they sell. So it's been great. What's
the newest item that you've played around with that you got to launch recently?
A couple of donuts are new. I think the biggest hit out of this whole thing was for Cinco de Mayo. We did a churro cupcake, and I couldn't even make them quick enough. I was making them and putting them in boxes. It was amazing. And so since then, everyone's been asking, you know, when that's coming back, and I'm kind of holding that into my back pocket for a rainy day. When I need a boost.
You know, it's funny that you say that, because when it comes to food and people see photos or somebody says, "Oh, you have to go have this," it is amazing how specific things can take off. And you've had that in several cases in your success there.
Yep. Yeah. We did for the 4th, we did a line of ice cream cakes. We work with Eggers. all the time, and she's been taking my ingredients, my rainbow cookie scraps and some fudge and stuff, and she's been making ice cream for us. And then I take it here and I put it in a cake, and we had a whole line of them for 4th of July. We had the rainbow cookie one, the salted caramel fudge, and something we call a brandy cake, which is a brownie and chocolate chip cookie mix, which is pretty cool.
Anybody hungry right now?
I know where I'm going now.
What's your favorite thing to bake?
I haven't been able to make them because it's not one of my biggest sellers, so we kind of scaled the menu back. But I do like to make strudel. It sort of brings me back because it was a big item for Dave, and Andrew and Allen's, of course, was big with strudel. So I like making them. I haven't been able to make them as much because we haven't had the crowd to sell them in the store, and it's not a big seller online, so we kind of pulled back on it. But I think that would be my favorite thing.
There's nothing like having waste, right?
Yeah. We're trying. I think you see that. We ordered from Hobra last night, and they like limited menu. Everyone has that kind of same mentality now, which is have your ingredients down and keep your product in the store low and not have so much waste, for sure.
And then, all right, so we're not making strudel because that's not the biggest item now. What's the biggest? What are you selling the most of consistently? The donuts.
Donuts, that's it. That's our bread and butter. I mean, people come here for the donuts, and they haven't stopped. And I keep trying. Like I said, I try and make a different one and keep it fresh. And we added a peanut butter cup one. We added a strawberry, which we use fresh strawberries on. A crumb donut. So people, that's been what people come for, and then they try some other stuff. The cake bites too. I forgot the cake bites are a big seller too. So my introduction when you first opened were those cake bite, the ice cream cake bites, and I'm not a cupcake person, but my sister-in-law for Thomas's first birthday, whatever, I know it couldn't be 3 years ago. So his second birthday, third birthday, whatever it was, these ice cream, I'm like, what is that? Oh, she goes, oh no, you got to try it. Red velvet ice cream cupcake. I mean, they're like little pops. Yeah.
Really. those are
that was Fran, right? That was my first big order. I was so happy when I went home that day. I was like, oh my gosh, she ordered everything we have.
Well, I'm glad that worked, and you're still open.
Right, exactly.
And for those that are watching, that our regular customers that bowl in the morning, Mark's is where we now get our donuts from, and I'm sure they miss the donuts, so maybe a bunch of them are going and having their donuts.
If you're looking for a morning donut, now they know where to go.
Fran recently picked up donuts for Jimmy because Jimmy here hasn't had a donut. And he was like, am I going to get a donut? And somebody brought him Tim Hortons donuts. And
that's not.
No.
Not the same, huh?
That's poor substitute.
Yeah. Oh, Dunkin' Donuts are terrible.
Stop.
And now I'm hungry. Now I want donuts. Now I want ice cream and
cake bites.
I don't know what it is I want. So
you guys said you're out of the studio tomorrow, right? You're not there. You're not at Rabs.
Yeah. Yes. We are here.
So next time you're in,
tomorrow.
Next time you're in, we gotta get you some donuts. This way you could show everyone what we're talking about.
All right, we will. You know what?
He had plans to stop there on the way in today.
Yeah, this morning my plans got totally whipped upside down. So I was out early. You know what? For Friday or Monday, I'll reach out. We'll have some donuts. We'll have some on the set here.
Let me know.
All right. We love having food on the set, especially people love to watch us eat
stuff on faces.
So, all right. So we're coming out of this pandemic in different ways. You have the opportunity to open your doors. You're being a little bit more creative. What's in Mark's plans? What's going on in your head that's moving forward to keep business afloat, and then build what's next for Mark's Bake Shop?
Right.
So right now our biggest asset is the Instagram And like I said, the Instagram to that online store, and anything, I've been trying my hardest to come up with something new every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, because that's keeping people coming. It's keeping people trying products that I have here that they may not have tried. So that's my goal. That's been my goal through this, is just to come up with something new, whether it's a hit or a miss. We've had luckily more hits than misses, but whether it's a hit or a miss, meaning it doesn't stay on the menu or not, it still gets people here. So that's my immediate goal. Long term, we're outgrowing this space.
I was just going to ask that. I was just going to ask.
Yeah. Like I showed you guys the kitchen, we're only 400 square feet back here. Right now it works because we're staggering shifts, but holiday time, this is tough. It's real tough. And I can't get enough product in the store. And so we're looking, and what that means as far as expansion will probably mean a bigger menu, likely some food. We serve breakfast here, but it's limited to bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches on our rolls and croissants. We've tried some French toast around St. Patrick's Day. We make it with our soda bread, and there's more ideas that go behind that we just don't have the capacity to try. So that's where we're headed. I think that, and I also like the ice cream aspect. We do really some different stuff with the ice cream, and we work so well with Eggers that it's just something that feels right. It's a good fit, and kind of want to explore it further.
So in the beginning, are you doing both, making some ice cream and then using Eggers, or you specifically only working with Eggers?
We were making it in the very beginning, and I just don't have the time, and it just works out better for us. They've been around forever. Their ice cream's great, and by giving her the product that we use here, it makes it, it's still unique. It's still our stuff. It promotes her. She's right in Richmond Town too, so I'm a big fan of the neighborhood, and I like to promote that space because I think it's really well done. So yeah.
So you had a partnership with Shake Shack at Empire
At the mall.
at the mall.
At the mall, right?
Yes. So has that worked out for you?
Both locations. There's two locations.
Both locations.
I haven't been to the other one. I knew it.
She's a North Shore gal.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. The Empire Outlets mall started about 2 years ago, I think, and they're really good. We're on the menu there with a brownie. Our brownies in one of their it's called a concrete, where they take local product. We're on the menu, and 2 other places in Brooklyn are the other 2 options. And so that the mall is the brownie, and over on Bay Street at Empire Outlets is our Nutella pretzel cookie, and they take that and they mix it with some other stuff, vanilla ice cream. So yeah, it's been good mostly for exposure. I mean, it's that was another one of those surreal moments. You walk into Shake Shack and you see your name up on the menu. Couldn't be cooler, and they saw it on my face too. I couldn't even hide it.
Well, and what's cool about Shake Shack does that in a lot of their different markets. I mean, that's what helps make them feel more local.
Right.
Whereas people just perceive them to be a chain,
Right.
and as much as they are, I mean, I believe they're franchise owned, right? So if they're franchise owned, they want to be local, and so they tap into that community. I mean, that's awesome. And so Eggers alone, local business, and now here's this other partnership. Collaborations certainly work well, especially in food.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of them. I mean, we've used hook and rail for the bacon, for the donuts, anywhere I can, man. And it's been good for my business. They're kind of complimentary, and Frank, I know you feel the same because we've had this conversation. But anywhere you could promote Staten Island in a positive light is cool. I mean, and help other people that are starting businesses or even in businesses, that anywhere you guys could co-promote is great. I mean, it's just great for everybody.
Yeah, and that's something that we pride ourselves in for years. And we've got a very large customer base that's also in business. But I mean, that's how you grow together. You learn from each other. You grow together. That's just how it should work.
Right.
How it should be. I mean, not always ideal, but it's great. And so Susan said that she loves Mark. And Susan's actually lives not far from me, which is not far from you. And did you catch anybody that he said bacon for donuts? He didn't say bacon for a BEC. He specifically said he gets the bacon for donuts, which is something you don't hear often.
Yeah, we make a donut with a maple glaze and we top it with bacon, which is. We on the menu is an egg sandwich on that donut, which is serious if you're having a rough morning. If you had too many drinks the night before, that's where you want to go.
Yeah, I would say in the beginning of this, I had stopped there a couple times, and that bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, especially because it's on that nice homemade croissant, it's amazing. And Mark, I love you, but there was no way I felt like I could actually live off that sandwich throughout this whole thing. And thank God I didn't, because 114 days later,
you would be 114 pounds heavier.
I would have certainly gained more weight. I mean, I lost weight. I would have gained it plus.
Frank, those are low cal, those sandwiches.
Right. Yeah, right. You know what? A good friend of mine told me, if it doesn't hit the plate, it has 0 calories. Once it hits the plate, it has calories.
Exactly. There you go. You're good.
Frank DeSocio. That's a Frank DeSocio line. Every time I go out, and or you're at a buffet or something, and oh, look at that, 0 calorie. Yeah, okay. Work that way. So just people walking into your store these days, we're wearing masks. We're greeted with a friendly smile behind the mask, of course. But before we let you go, because you're awesome, just remind everybody where the shop is.
Sure, we're at 3479 Richmond Road, right at the bottom of Lighthouse Hill, across the street from St. Patrick's School. It's Richmond Road towards historic Richmond Town, in case anybody asks, and they're on the other end of Richmond Road. We're closer to historic Richmond Town. The phone number is 718-668-2600, and the website's up. I could see it right there. You guys can go on there, and there's a link to shop, and that's been the easiest way to do it if you're not close. So check it out.
You talked about expansion. Isn't there an open store in that shopping plaza?
There is.
And you might have to convince someone else to move if you wanted to break a wall down.
It's something we're looking at for sure.
Or just make it a kitchen. I mean, it just came to mind. I was like, wait a second. I think there's an open spot over there.
There is. It's at the end of this lot, but it's definitely on the board as an option.
Yeah. Well, don't pigeonhole yourself into just that, right? Yeah. I mean, that's the only way that this works. Hey, we know you're busy. Go back to work.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for popping in, and we will see you soon. And over the next couple of days, we'll have some donuts on the set, and we're gonna make everybody feel really jealous about us enjoying them. And hopefully they're so jealous they can have them themselves.
Sounds good, guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Mark. Say hello.
Have a good one.
You too. Bye. Oh,
he's cool.
He's great. I know it's funny. He talks about Fran being one of his first customers with a large order. It was my nephew's birthday, and there's just something about our family, and she's the same way. And so Tommy's here. Tommy probably chuckle, but we never have enough. You just never have enough.
Right. You gotta. It's better to have too much than not enough.
Right. So my grandfather was the same way. My dad was the same way. And yes, they are a couple doors down from Casa Verde. That's the salon, the nail salon, right. Casa Verde, them. And this family owns the little boutique that's in there also. It's the salon. And so they're kind of ingrained in the neighborhood, which is
that's their place.
Which is really cool. If when we were living in Richmond Town, we would have, it doesn't make us bad people. No, it makes us awesome people that we're always prepared for, you never know what's going to walk in. If he was there when we were still living there, that would have been even more dangerous to be able to walk to the bakery.
Yeah.
It's bad enough that now we stop. I'll stop for a cappuccino, stop to say hello, grab something, but it certainly doesn't.
No, that's a. That's a nice place to have in the neighborhood.
Yes, no different than being on Victory Boulevard and working across or next to Alfonso's Bakery. Excuse me.
See?
Dangerous. I mean, we have it here, but it's just not the same.
Told you, the bakery thing it's a gig.
So donuts?
You're really good.
We're getting donuts? Is that
I
what
think
happened?
that's on order. I think that is.
How do you feel about the bacon donut? I feel like that's...
I want to try it. I like maple. I like that whole combination thought. Yeah, I'm not against that.
Okay.
Listen, I like chicken and waffles. It's the same kind of idea.
Yes. Bacon in there too?
No,
No, chicken waffles. I love chicken. I actually like chocolate-covered bacon. I mean, there's something to be
yeah, you know,
salty,
I've had that
savory.
once. Yes, it's the combination. It kind of hits.
But sometimes they use like too much maple. Like sometimes there's too much of something.
Yeah. No, you just want the little hint of
Or
sweet.
there's nothing worse than like having that really like fatty bacon, like they try to bake with, or they put on, and it's like,
It has to be like a nice.
you know, when you see the donuts, they're like, oh no, they look ridiculous.
All right, well, Frank,
We should be showing. We could show some photos and then really make everybody extra hungry.
Yeah, let's pull up his website.
Hey, so, I should have shown this before Mark ran away, but so our meme of the day, I think we all can relate to this. When you make a cake at home, you know, me making a cake, the expectations.
There were some
And the
really
reality.
funny Pinterest fails.
But this is why you go to
Same
bakery.
type of thing. Right. Why do that? Why do that to yourself? I mean, now at this time, because people have so much time at home, so it's not like they're rushing around doing other things. Now we have a little more time to bake and do other things.
Yeah, it's just not the same though. I mean, we bake. I really haven't baked in a while. I mean, we've been
Right.
cooking more.
Right.
Because again, that's another thing. To go and bake and like to make sure you're eating sweets is like the worst thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's
once you
why
bake, then once you bake a batch of cookies,
Okay.
you can either eat them all in one sitting, or every night you're enjoying cookies.
Yeah, that's what I've made while we've been home. I've baked cookies
Look at you,
a couple of times.
made a cracker.
I had to stop because they just can't sit there. They can't. I can't leave them alone.
Yeah, no, I get it. Hey, and so we've been sharing old photos. So 25th anniversary this year, which we've spent half of it closed at this point. But our 25th anniversary, we've been sharing some photos. This picture actually came up early in the show, and I finally found it. This is from several years ago, 2007.
Oh,
This is Mike
the
Machuga.
Machuga flop.
I don't think the date is right because that definitely was not September 1st. Was it? Might have been.
It might have
Maybe it
been.
was. Something's not. I don't know.
It
Something
might
seems
have
off. But anyway, this is Mike Machuga doing the Machuga flop, professional bowler, which is something he's famous for the bowlers that are watching. And this cake was done for this party that by our friend Mike Marchese, who also hailed from the Andrew and Allen's clan.
Yes, he did. Actually, he was at the bakery that Mark talked about in by Sagayan.
Yes.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, after he left
Yeah.
Andrew and Allen's had opened up his own shop.
Yeah.
That was David's.
David's correct.
So that's our old photo of the day.
That's a funny one. That was a whole funny time.
All right, so Kathy says she's looking at Mark's website now, and Kathy, what are you looking at? And what do you look at? What do you want? Because there's a lot of good stuff. It's funny he talks about the strudel. Now, for me, I've had his strudel, and strudel is excellent.
Right.
But again, there's so many things. What could you get? But Holterman's is not far. Their strudel is, their true classic German bakery. Strudel. And then you have probably my favorite is Cake Chef. They're also another old school bakery.
I've had their strudel, and it's really good. There used to be a bakery. I'm not going to remember the name of it. Hours Bakery, maybe,
Okay.
on in Concord by the Expressway, beginning of Richmond Road. That used to be really, really, really good. They were famous for the strudel. Look at Frank makes a guest appearance.
Fran's making a guest appearance and reminding us that Mark's is the best. And yes, he is. And Fran, I don't know if you were watching when Mark was on, but you got the shout out for one of his
Yes.
first large
Large
orders.
orders.
And I have to find a picture because I have a picture of all of that.
Of the dessert.
Oh yeah. So I was talking about those cake bites, and he does both. He does a cake and like these, and then he does
I've
with
had
ice
those.
cream.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's got a he he's young and he's growing his business and he thinks out of the box a lot, and that's good. I mean, you really have to be imaginative and listen. I think it's great. I wish him the best of luck.
his donuts took off at one point. He did a thing with Jeff Sellis, Food Network kind of thing, and then he was on Sugar Rush on Netflix. But I mean, that exposure alone
That's
is great for them too. So,
yeah.
And the niche product, he talked about that Cinco de Mayo. I mean, churro cupcake. I mean, and I love churros. A good churro.
Cupcakes are they're a popular thing. They're easy to customize. I know that even like the little mini cupcakes, we've done that for our parties. Get like an assortment of different flavors.
Sometimes I like it better than cake.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's easier to.
You know what? We should have asked him. Looking ahead, cakes. Are people going to be opting more for cupcakes to just grab and go type thing versus serving a cake? Right. I mean, listen. We can't be afraid of food service, but I feel like there are people that can take that. We've done the cupcake cakes and different types of displays with cupcakes. Right. I mean, they're great. Yeah. Now, how do you, man, see, now we think of like
that's what happens.
How do you eat a cupcake, Naz?
How do I eat it? Well,
how do you eat a cupcake?
You don't want to know how I eat a cupcake.
When Naz eats, I mean, it's an experience in itself.
It depends on if it's in the paper. If it's in the paper, then I will just separate the bottom and sometimes throw the bottom out.
Oh, so you'll only eat the top?
I only eat the top. It depends on the cupcake.
Top of the muffin to you.
That's why every time I see that episode of Seinfeld, I laugh.
That is one of my. That is one of my. I mean, I have a lot of favorite Seinfeld episodes, but that is one.
But yes, I prefer the top.
Hi, Tom. Tommy made a guest appearance today.
When he's not fighting.
Tommy's going home. He's fighting fires tonight. Tonight? Have fun. Good luck.
Be safe.
Be safe. Wear a mask.
Wash your hands.
So, okay. Because that's where all the topping is. I mean, I get it. And the top, the bottom dries out.
Because I'm a fan of balance. I like balance in everything.
So, Naz,
in my life.
taught you this. We're going to have to do this.
It's the balance of frosting to cake.
The best way to eat them, and I'm really not a cake person, but I will indulge in cake. But I really like fudgy brownies.
I know what you're going to say.
You take the bottom off, and then you put it on the top. So now it's an equally balanced cupcake.
There's still more cake.
You know what happens though? Because the bottom is so soft that it but the top is dense. So the top crumbles and it's not as bad. Just saying. I mean, so there's no waste.
If they're little, it doesn't matter. I'll eat the whole thing.
I like Baked by Melissa, the little ones.
Oh,
those are delicious. Little. I mean, they're very expensive, very tiny
cupcakes. But
they're like this big, and they come in a
thing. Baked with love, doesn't it?
Yes. They are good. They come in a little pack, like 20 to 50 type thing.
It's about $20 or $50.
Yeah, it is. They're like $1 something a cupcake, and they're this
little.
Cupcakes. We talk about cupcakes all day long. Magnolia Bakery.
Had them. Delicious.
You like them?
I like them. Yeah. Why, you didn't like them?
I'm not a fan.
They were different.
I like the flavor. I find the cupcake itself dry.
Dry? It's not,
I love the way they look. Different. I like that they're very different. They're very, they do all different things.
Oh, yeah, I like them because, I don't eat the bottom anyway.
Maybe that's my problem. Maybe because I've tried so hard to also eat the bottom that I probably shouldn't. Yeah. So maybe that's it. So the next time we get Magnolia, and they're not cheap. Now my other cupcakes, I do love Crumbs cupcakes, and those things are usually they're like the size of muffins.
Really big. Those are big.
They are really good.
Not that we love food or anything here.
So my friend Mike Cannington in Southwest Florida is telling us he likes the maple bacon donut, salty and
Salty
sweet.
and
You can
sweet.
try it. At
Yep.
the same time, 99 shows, and now we're getting baking tips by Frankie. Come on, Cuomo, open the damn bowling centers. I added damn to that because he would have said that anyway.
Yes.
Interesting today. If anybody caught the governor's press conference, he opened it with "I have good news and bad news," and I mean,
and we knew the bad news would be.
well, the bad news really,
I didn't really watch it.
it was his stat over the fact
Oh, with the
that
mayor?
he gets to make the decision on opening the schools, not the mayor. So the good thing, I mean, I would say it was more good news because he did say they have to make a plan, and plans have to be presented
Yes.
from the cities to the governor's office for approval for opening, and it looks like that's going to be the case. It looks like they're going to get open. There's going to be a hybrid type situation. It looks is the direction they're all going.
That's the direction they were.
New York City is probably, I think it's the nation's largest school system.
Public school system.
So when you're really looking at the public school system, I mean, it's going to set the marker for other school systems, which
Yep.
is a good and bad thing at the same time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the good news, he talked about malls having the ability to open this week that are in phase 4, as long as they have made the adjustments to their HVAC systems.
Yeah.
With these HEPA filters or whatever you want to call them. So, I mean, that's a sign in the right direction.
At least
all of
it's a guideline. At least he's saying we've identified this is a problem, and these are the things you can do to fix it. Now, whether you can afford to do that, that's something you have to decide.
Yeah.
But at least
Well, that's going to be the big thing.
Right. At least
You make
it's
the
something.
investment.
At least it's an answer.
Yeah, so the filters go now from like $4.95 to $13.95. I mean, and then you have to change them more often.
Of
So,
course.
I mean, there's a large cost factor.
Of course.
And I mean, we'll see what that looks like. Yesterday we had Nancy Schenk on in North Carolina, and she was talking. They had won this lawsuit against the state, and of course it's getting appealed and go through the yards. But other states are now doing the same thing,
Yep.
and so
I
there are
already saw
other
it.
businesses and industries around the country that are going to start going after their states.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I mean, I want to hope that it's good because it opens people's eyes to talking with your experts and understanding the lay of the land.
Yeah.
But like we said yesterday, does that create another
Yeah.
barrier to open?
To opening, right? Are they going to lay back now, knowing that oh well, listen, if we hint that they can open, if we don't allow it to happen, then if they're going to come back and sue us to open, you know what? We're just not going to say anything.
Yeah, and so the conversations are that are happening now are also around the insurance companies, helping the insurance companies actually make payments for business interruption. I mean, that's a positive thing.
Oh really? That's glad. That's
There's a
going
bill
forward.
on the table that's being reviewed that's included.
Okay.
PPP. I mean, I happened to go back to Besso last night. It was a change of plans for dinner,
Oh yeah.
and we sat. It was beautiful. It was perfect. We sat, but Julian was there. We were talking with Julian, and there are challenges that we all have in business, and they're the same yet different. And I think that where he and I certainly do agree, at the end of the day, we're in this on our own. We have to work. We have to worry about ourselves and figure out how we're going to get out of this
Correct.
and see what's best for us. I mean, there are groups that have formed that are collectively working together at
Right.
the same time. I'll use the restaurant group.
Right,
And
right.
Rob DeLuca was on our show. We talked about
Right.
iRoar. At the same time, it's being operated by owners. They're all now working their businesses. They're all back to business. Do they all have the time to truly devote
Yes.
and go petition? And
Yeah.
they don't. I mean, they're busy.
Right. And now, especially since they've gotten what they wanted, which was
Right.
to reopen, now they're working.
Right.
So
But
they
they're
don't
not
have
fully
the
open.
time. Right.
like they wanted.
They have less time
Yeah.
to help push forward. It's kind of an important time now because they've gotten the first step. Now you want to take the next step, which is to at least begin indoors.
Right.
And
So New Jersey, Governor Murphy today in New Jersey said that if you can open 2 or more doors, or 2 or more walls, he called it walls. And the way that I understood that is that if you have an indoor, like a patio, and you have like your full doors, you can open for indoor
like
dining.
Cafe Luna.
kind of like what Cafe Luna's doing. Michael's and Meatballs, I believe, is doing similar. I don't know
they have
what the
big
restrictions.
doors. Well,
I don't know
they
what the
did.
restrictions are here that allow for that or not. They're doing it, so I believe it's good.
Right.
So, but New Jersey didn't have that option. At the
Right.
same time, a restaurant owner can just say, "Oh, I didn't know." I mean, there has to be
Right.
some leniency that says,
Yes.
"I don't know. I play stupid,"
Right.
and everybody should play stupid because you don't know. The guidance isn't clear. So we'll see. Yesterday we mentioned that in Florida and Dade County, that Miami-Dade County, that they are shutting places down. It happened in California. The other bad news, I guess Cuomo added today, he added 3 more states to the travel ban list. So it almost, if you go back and watch it, the whole country is red. We can't leave New York.
Isn't that weird? Except that
Well, it's red because we can't go anywhere. He's now basically
yeah, right.
New Yorkers can't travel. And I could almost agree with the fact, I had this conversation with a friend this past week. Close down the borders. Close down the borders. State borders. Okay? Nobody can leave. Stay in New York.
How could you do that?
Well, think about this. If you want to,
What's the state border?
I'm just saying, do I think it makes sense? Maybe not, but
You could drive over a border anywhere.
you can. The point is, everybody can open if nobody leaves their state or comes in and out,
Right.
then
Correct.
everybody can open.
Right.
And you're truly containing whatever you have. Because the larger what's happened is the traveling that's creating this. I think Cuomo has the airplane. He calls it the COVID-19 Express or whatever he calls it in the graphic, and he basically shows it coming from the other side of the world and coming into New York, and boom, here comes COVID. But does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense, but it could be logical. Which is exactly what he's doing. You have to if you leave, you have to quarantine yourself, which scares people from wanting to leave to begin with. So don't even bother.
So don't.
So if that's something we can do for a little while,
Well,
maybe that makes sense. I don't know.
I am interested to know how far they've gotten in the trace tracking to see if that's up and if they're using that. I know that there was a party where they were interviewing people like who they had come in contact with, and some of the people just refused to say, which is stupid because why would you just not tell them?
Right.
You're not helping anybody.
No.
Anyway, but I mean, that was supposed to help this whole situation, is to be able to track hotspots and where, if somebody got sick, where it originated from, so they could trace it back to if it's one person or one group of people that's infecting a lot.
Well, the contact tracing.
Contact tracing.
Yeah. And so, but then that's also all over the place because they're saying that it's not legal. It's legal. We're doing it in some states. In Massachusetts, they're doing it every time you walked into a restaurant. This is what my brother is sharing in his experience. Every time they went into a restaurant, they took their name and phone number. Like they can't tie cases to a specific place. They can tie it to people that you've been with. And I think that's the most important thing.
Right.
So that's what they're doing. I mean,
Well, that's why they were putting the tracking on the phone.
Right.
So they could kind of.
but it's self-tracking. You're using it you're going in there and saying that you've had
Listen,
symptoms or no
But
symptoms.
supposedly, that's why the Asian countries have had such low incidence, because of what happened with SARS. They learned from that,
Right.
And so when this came forward, what was happening, they were prepared, far more prepared than we were, and they use contact tracing and masks and quarantining at the beginning, and they were able to, in the place where it originated, they were able to keep the case.
Just wear your mask. Be like Harry.
Wash your hands too. Now they're all about the aerosol and the droplets. It's all about it. Soon people won't be washing their hands. There's a lot more incidents.
Which
I
is
think,
disgusting.
Yeah,
Just wash your
it's
damn
disgusting.
hands. Wash
Your
your hands. Do like Harry, wash your hands.
He looks happy to be washing his hands.
He should be. He's very happy. He's excited to be washing his hands. I said this in the beginning. I just lost faith in humanity that we have to tell people to wash their hands and to stay out of people's personal space. Anyway, hey, Naz.
Right.
This was episode
99. 99.
Crazy.
Tomorrow is 100.
Yeah. And for those of you that watched on Flow Bowling last night, the
draft,
the ladies' draft for the two new teams, Miami and Phoenix. Interesting. Maybe a little snubs, but it's funny that one of the top picks, Missy Parkin, was last.
Yeah.
But several of the guests that have been on our show have been drafted, so which was cool to see. Kim Terrell and Bob Learn drafted two teams for the PBA League.
Yeah.
And very different strategies,
yes.
but Kim built up a team of athletes that have competed in world events.
Yeah, she's got her team is a little bit more international, has a more international flavor,
and they have different styles on how they play. So I thought that was really interesting. So if you didn't get to watch, if you're a fan of the PBA, flowbowling.com. Go watch the draft from last night.
I can't wait to see how the season's going to play out.
Yeah,
that's going to.
With two, and I'm interested to see how it's going to play out too. I don't know how I feel about necessarily just having two all-women teams having to compete against the men. I almost feel like if you're going to make that route, make it mixed. Just make everybody play together.
Maybe they'll eventually get to that.
Maybe. I think it's cool.
I think
in some cases the ladies are better. In some of these cases, the ladies are better than the men. So that's not my concern.
Yeah, but I think that
it's the way they play the lanes.
I think it was to. I don't want to say protect. That's not the right word. But I think it was just so the women had a fair shot, because I think that, given a list of bowlers, that a lot of the captains or whatever they are of the teams would have drafted the men first.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Without a doubt.
Power players.
Without a doubt.
And it would,
and then what do you say? Oh, you have to have two women on your team. I mean, that's not fair. I mean, that doesn't. No, I agree. I wholeheartedly agree with that.
So I think that once the women's teams dominate, they'll be breaking up that party.
Good. I hope they do. It'd be fun to watch. The ladies have been fun to watch.
Yeah.
Different excitement level. It's just the two tours are very different.
Yeah.
When you're watching women's, listen, when it comes to women's sports, I will tell you, I love watching billiards, but the women over the men, even darts. It's just a different, it's a different game.
It's a different game.
And especially in billiards, watching the ladies play is more enjoyable, and it's just I think they're better. I think they're sharper shooters. I feel
that it's that way with golf too. And talking to even men that I know that play golf, they like to watch the women's tour. I think it's more relatable to them. It's more because if you watch the PGA tour, I mean, they have DeChambeau and the other golfer, I can't remember the name, the young kid, his name escapes me. They were first and second this weekend, and they were driving
you can't relate to that.
You can't relate to it.
I get that.
Guy was driving his average drive, I believe, was 350 yards. Average, which means that half went further and probably half went a little bit less than that. So, I mean, that's crazy.
Wolf.
It's Wolf. That's him.
Thank you, Melissa.
Yes. And, I mean, it was great.
I didn't watch this weekend, so I wasn't sure. So.
It was great to watch, but it's hard to relate to that. Watch these guys swings and they're swinging out of their shoes.
Which our friends do all the time.
Well, yes, in a different way.
All right, so not only did Melissa just say Wolf, Mike made sure to say Matthew Wolf is who Shorty is talking about.
Please
he loves you.
don't. I don't need the shorty thing.
So tomorrow, episode 100, we're on the road, alfresco style. We're going to be at Bruno's on Forest Avenue with Pam Silvestri as our guest. We made it to 100. We'll celebrate tomorrow, and then down over.
And then on the other side of Cuomo's Mountain.
Yeah, exactly. We've been talking about getting to 100, and I mean, we didn't think it was going to happen, but here it is. Tomorrow, episode 100. So come and watch us. Tomorrow, we're on at 2 o'clock. Friday,
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock with Verity Crawling coming at us from over the pond. And then next week, starting Monday, next week, we're going to be live at noon. So we're interrupting your turkey sandwich, your soup, salad, whatever your lunch might be.
Right.
Your lunch hour is going to be here with us on Live from Rabs.
Yeah.
And starting Monday.
I think we will have lunch too with them.
We could.
Well, hopefully maybe we'll have some donuts.
We're definitely going to have donuts. We're all about the donuts. Oh, Naz, I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
Me too. I'm excited.
I am looking forward to it. And then next week, got a whole new line of guests at noon. We'll have some fun. So, hey, you guys have been great. Thank you for watching, supporting us.
Yeah, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for
Oh
that.
my God, Naz, you're famous. We're famous. We're no longer two
We're
hacks.
still a couple of hacks. We really are. That has not changed. That has not changed. What has changed is that I now remember to turn the volume down.
You did
when
that today.
we start the show.
Yeah, I mean,
and the majority of the time I remember. So I'm moving.
things we've learned.
Yes, things.
You know, the other thing I realized about 5 minutes ago, I did not plug the microphone in today. So we're not using the regular microphone, which I think with using the Mac, we're actually okay.
Well, nobody said they can't hear us.
No, they can hear us. It's just not the same. So thank God there's no other background noise today, because that would have been a challenge.
Would have been something.
Hey, just quick, before we go, Bingo is back. So Bingo returns on Sunday, July 19th. We're moving for those of you that have played Bingo with us, we're going from Friday to Sunday. Sunday is 7 o'clock on the 19th. sinorthrotary.org/bingo. We do bingo. Christine Dehart joins me in the studio, and we play a game of bingo, raise a few bucks for the community while providing some entertainment for you at home. So go check it out. Bingo's back. We took a little while off, a couple weeks.
That's okay. You needed a little time off.
We'll be back.
Chrissy needed some time away from me.
Yeah, poor Christine. She's back to work at least. I mean,
That's a good thing.
unlike some of the rest of us.
No. Well,
In the meantime, hey, as Naz would tell you, smash the like button
smash it, smash.
or the heart. Share, tell your friends and family. Tomorrow, episode 100. We'll see you then. Stay healthy, stay safe.
Tune in tomorrow. It's going to be exciting.
Wear a mask.
Fun.
Wash
That
your
was
hands.
awesome.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.